I'm a fish boy who skates for Team X, blades with a leprechaun who plays basketball. Come to my smart house, meet my alien sister. Don't come hungry, because I'll bet my mom can't cook.
Hello, DCOM fans, and welcome back to Mom Can't Cook, a DCOM podcast. I am one of your hosts, Andy, and I am a skeleton.
I'm the other host, Luke, and I'm vampires. Several of them.
How many?
I panicked at the last minute that a vampire isn't scary enough, and the only thing I could think to do was pluralise it.
I'm two vampires.
What's the scariest number? I'm 666 vampires.
Are they regular size or small?
They'd have to be small, really, for me to make up a whole one.
I don't think that's very scary. I would just punch through them like a cloud.
Just stamp on them like grapes.
Anyway, you're probably wondering why we're talking about monsters. It's because it's another spooky DCOM.
Hooray!
We're talking about 1997's Under Wraps, which is about a mummy.
Not either of the Under Wraps on Disney+.
Yeah, forget them.
Forget them. They are a remake and a sequel to the remake of 1997's Under Wraps, and we're not interested in them. Well, we are. We'll probably cover them in the future, but we couldn't without
We're not interested in them, but we have watched them.
Yeah, that's true. But we could... Look, being interested in something is not necessarily a predicate for having watched it.
If your brain is fundamentally broken in the way that ours is,
yeah,
then you will still watch them.
Exactly. Anyway, Under Wraps, it's from 1997. It is the very, very first Disney Channel original movie, and boy, did they start things off with a bang. Yep. It is the story of a group of friends who find a mummy who is... appears scary at first, but ultimately turns out to just be looking for love, the sweet, tender physical embrace,
sure,
of a fellow mummy, or some rando in a dance hall. Let's find out.
Yeah, I'd forgot about that.
Tomorrow night, it's a Disney Channel original movie, Under Wraps.
The spirit of the mummy may be freed by the purity of the full moon and loosened to walk the earth.
And he's walking your way on Disney.
That's a mummy! Cool! What are we going to call him? How about Harold?
And it's up to these three kids to help him find his way back home.
We don't have much time, right, Harold?
Under Wraps, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only on Disney Channel.
Okay, so Under Wraps was, as you say, the first Disney Channel original movie. Up to that point, Disney was doing Channel
was doing well.
premiere films, which is some kind of
legally
important distinction. I don't understand. But because this is the first one, I feel kind of like they tried a bit.
Yes, you are so right. I think they set a level of professionalism that they could not possibly hope to come up to with subsequent films.
Yeah.
I do know, I only did a little bit of IMDb on this one, but I do know that the director... Mr. Beeman, I think.
Mr. Beeman?
He's not called Mr.
Like
Beeman, but I can't remember his first name.
Sounds like a principal or something.
Well, yeah, it does.
Old Man Beeman. He's directed another DCOM.
Crusty old Beeman. Yeah, I do know that he also directed Brink, which, although it came out later, in my mind, and I know yours as well, Andy, is the platonic ideal of a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, the premiere DCOM.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a kind of sense of it, even from the opening credits to this film, because a usual DCOM opening credits is like papyrus font and some sort of pan flute.
Yeah.
And it just says the name of the film, like, oh no, I'm a horse or something.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we open on a shot of suburbia. The music's going bum 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 bum.
Oh no, I'm a horse, starring Joey Lawrence.
Oh, the mom is cooking badly.
It's like, oh, Joey, you've got to have your breakfast or you won't be in time for school.
Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna do it in a minute. I'm a horse though.
He's trying to do his tie up with his hooves. Oh no. But yeah, this has got some really nice credits. There's like stop motion snakes and spiders. There's mummy hands sort of unrolling bandages that reveal the names of the cast and crew. It just feels like they're trying, you know?
I know. But
nice.
Don't worry, they don't try for very long. Because after the opening credits is probably the most frightening opening to a DCOM you could imagine.
I mean, it's one of the more frightening openings to any movie, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
think so.
Not even a full-on horror film would have someone having their head pressed down towards a knife stuck in a garbage disposal within the first minute and a half of the film. We should point out that it's an introductory scene to this film, which is a film within a film. We're meant to sort of think that this is the film, but actually it's a film that the main character is watching. But it's a horror film called Warthead 4, A Day in the Country.
And to be clear, it does feature at its, the climax of this brief scene, a genuinely horrible monster smashes through a window, screams, "Real enough for you," in the face of the father of this home, and then pushes his head down onto a kitchen knife that has been left spinning wildly in the garbage disposal. And it conjures a really
it's some real
image.
final destination stuff. But this is a narrative device used to tell us all we need to know about our first two protagonists that we're meeting, Marshall, who is the main character of the film, and his friend Gilbert. Now, Marshall is absolutely loving this eye-based knife violence. He is so into it.
He's leaning forward, biting his lower lip. Hit him again.
Show it go in the eyeball. And Gilbert, his friend, is physically sickened by this gore, and he leaves the theatre.
Gilbert has to go stand outside the whole cinema. And Marshall doesn't go join him. He just joins him when the film is ended.
And that was clearly the opening scene of the film. So Gilbert has been in the street for upwards of 90 minutes.
2 hours out in the cold.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that Gilbert puts up with without making a fuss, because Gilbert is a nailed-on DCOM nerd.
But yeah, I mean, this is incredibly efficient storytelling.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Their reaction to this film tells us all we need to know about Marshall and Gilbert. Marshall leaves the cinema eventually when it finishes, and him and Gilbert are walking home. And he's like, "I don't understand why you like all these horror films. Why don't you like films? I like happy films," Gilbert says. "Like The Sound of Music. It's got everything. Singing, dancing, and Nazis.
Yeah.
Those are the three things that a film needs to have for Gilbert to enjoy."
And then he starts talking about Liesel and how he's got a huge crush on Liesel.
Yeah, so again, this is another theme that Gilbert carries through the movie, is that he's a sort of creepy, slightly hormonal, obsessed with girls, and the sort of adolescent idea of what sex is. I will say that this film contains a character that has supplanted Johnny Tsunami as my favourite DCOM character, but we'll come to that again later.
I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, I bet you do.
You're lucky that this podcast isn't a whole hour.
On this character, but we'll get to them. So they're walking home, and they see a car race around the corner, and it's a local eccentric called Mr. Kubat, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's driving fast down the street, but he's a creepy man. His house is old and creepy. Gilbert delivers his paper, and through some sort of prodding, Marshall discovers that Mr. Kubat hasn't paid for his newspaper for over 2 years because Gilbert is too afraid to approach his house and ask for the money. So Marshall, being the sort of bold, horror-loving kind of de facto leader of this group.
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, Gilbert. Pull your socks up. Let's go get that money. Let's go get what you're owed." Right now, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it must be quite late. It's a sort of late. It's dark, and it's a showing of a horror film, so it must be past 9 p.m. I reckon.
It's probably like 2 in the morning. I reckon.
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So Marshall rings the doorbell. Mr. Kubat answers, and he is, to be fair, an intimidating character. He has a mean dog on a chain, and he allows the dog to chase the boys to his property line, but then he sort of holds the chain, stops the dog going further and tearing the children apart.
Yeah.
But he's clearly a bad sort, this Kubat.
As you can probably guess just from this introduction to Mr. Kubat, he is into some weird stuff. He's up to some dodgy dealings. I would think if you were up to the kind of dodgy dealings that he is, I probably wouldn't attract attention by having my dog attack children.
Yeah, or not paying for my newspaper for 2 years.
Yeah, like the most likely scenario is they're going to run home and say, "I was attacked by a dog," which, a crime. So
yeah, a parent comes round, asks to be let in.
Simply have the dog attack them.
Simply kill everyone in the world with your dog. They'll come round in order, and the dog will kill them in order.
Line up at my door. First the police, then the army.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Until everyone has been eaten by the dog. And then you're safe.
And then, yeah.
And the dog kills you. This plan foiled. The boys go back to Marshall's house. Gilbert then goes home because Marshall's mum is there with her new boyfriend, Ted. who, I mean, this is a sort of a recurring theme throughout the movie, is that Marshall's mother, who divorced his father a few years ago, has got a new boyfriend called Ted. He's a sort of towering presence. But he clearly wants to be a part of Marshall's life. He's bought ice cream and he wants to sort of hang out.
Yeah,
but Marshall,
affable, friendly.
Yeah, much like the protagonist of Smart House, he's not interested. He doesn't want his dad to be supplanted, much in the way that the boy from Smart House didn't want his mum to be supplanted. And he just says, I'm tired, I'm going upstairs. I'd rather spend time in my room. Which must be a lie because his room is horrifying.
His room is wall-to-wall covered with rubber masks from horror movies, like horror paraphernalia. He's made
mannequins.
He's made horror films his whole personality.
But his mum comes up and she's like, "Please, like Ted, your dad and I have been divorced a long time." But Marshall's having none of it.
Marshall's like, "You absolutely will not be fulfilled. You will not be getting on the dating scene. I'm putting my foot down. No,
no. Ted is bad." Yeah. So that's Marshall. Anyway, it's now the next day. We meet a new character called Amy. She's a girl at Marshall's school. She's part of the friend group with Gilbert and Marshall.
She kind of completes the trio, doesn't she?
They're the sort of the gang. They hang out together. And she's got news that Mr. Kubart is dead, apparently. The water meter man came round to read the meter, and Kubart was lying dead on the floor covered in pancake batter.
Yeah, this is a completely unnecessary and very confusing diversion, I think. This whole is Mr. Kubart dead.
So, as far as we know at this point in the film, Mr. Kubart is dead. Amy shares the information that he used to work at a big museum in New York. He had no family, no friends. His house is being sold, and apparently it was full of weird stuff. Someone saw a coffin in the basement.
Yeah.
Marshall doesn't believe her, and Amy says there's only one way to find out.
Gee, guys, I'd love to go with you, but it's just that my mom won't let me. Chicken. I am not. I asked my mom, and you know how strict she is.
Mrs. Anderson? Call me Esmeralda. Her name's not Esmeralda.
Can we talk about Gilbert's home situation?
Okay.
Like, at this point, and again, just to lay the groundwork, at this point, the film has made it very clear that it wants you to be invested in and care about the home situation of Marshall, because his parents are divorced, there's a new would-be stepdad on the scene, you know, things are turbulent. The film wants you to care and wants you to think that Marshall's situation is worthy of your attention. However, it then introduces Gilbert's home situation, which is so utterly wild that you're like, Marshall, nobody cares about your run-of-the-mill divorced parents.
It's like, oh, my new potential stepdad is nice. Smash cut to Gilbert in his mum's horrifying doll sex dungeon.
We need to get Gilbert out of there.
Gilbert is in an unsafe environment.
Should we? Okay, let's just list all of the things. Okay, we never see Gilbert's mother. We only hear about her through references made off camera. We do hear her once. I think we should just list off all the things in the film that we know about her so that we can put together a picture.
House is full of dolls.
Yes.
Antique dolls, and full. By full, I mean literally every surface has an antique doll on it.
Absolutely wall to wall.
When they come round, his mother is role-playing as someone called Esmeralda.
Which we find out because when they go around to Gilbert's house, Amy's like, "Oh, Mrs. Gilbert, can Gilbert come out to play?" And she just responds, "Call me Esmeralda." And Gilbert, with a sad, faraway look in his eyes, says, "She's role-playing. It's best just to go with it," I think is the phrase.
He's like, "Don't ask," with a look that speaks volumes.
With a look that says, "Don't ask."
I mean, this is how terrified Gilbert is of going to Mr. Kubart's basement. He would rather be in the house with his mother's, let's be honest here, probably sexual role-playing.
We also later find out that Gilbert's mum is hosting a tea party for the dolls in the house with no other attendees. And we find out that she takes the dolls out to the cinema and buys them popcorn.
Yep.
So just go into the rest of the narrative knowing that that's happening to Gilbert, but also knowing that the film wants you to give a single solitary shit about what's happening to Marshall.
About Marshall's nice stepdad.
About Marshall's nice home.
He bought him ice cream. Meanwhile, Gilbert is trapped in the psychosexual doll nightmare.
Meanwhile, Gilbert's having little blush cheeks painted on him. Soon you'll be a real boy, and you can join me, Esmeralda, Queen of the Fae Spirits.
Now drink this tea. It's got psychosibilin in it.
Drink this tea, it will make you a puppet forever.
Made it out of mushrooms, Gilbert.
Gilbert, you don't want to grow up, do you? Drink this tea.
Oh, God.
Stay young forever.
Gilbert, I made a Gilbert doll. I don't need you anymore. With your growing and your urges.
The Gilbert doll has been telling me all of your secret thoughts. And we don't like the sound of them.
No. We don't like the sound of them at all. Oh, boy.
If it were up to me, I would let you go, Gilbert, but Esmeralda won't have it.
Esmeralda, no! He's our son, Esmeralda, we can't! It's for his own good. So, but smash cut to Marshall's stepdad, Ted, going, I bought ice cream, Marshall. Marshall's like, I can't believe this terrible home life.
Storming upstairs.
So all this is to say that Gilbert leaves his home and goes with them to Mr. Kubat's house.
Yeah.
They break in to Mr. Kubat's basement to see if they can see the creepy coffin that supposedly is in there. Through a sort of series of unlikely events, the window gets pushed open. It knocks over a bookshelf. Bookshelf knocks down the coffin, which is actually an Egyptian sarcophagus, and the lid slides off, revealing the mummy inside. Now, Gilbert is, at this point, hanging upside down in the basement, and he sees the mummy. He freaks out and runs away, and the other two sort of chase after him. They sort of calm Gilbert down. He tells them about the coffin. Marshall is like, oh, cool, Mr. Kubat must have killed somebody. But then Gilbert realises that he dropped his glasses, and they have to go back. But they're not going to go back that night, because Amy reveals that her mother is a realtor, and she's selling the house, and she actually has the key, so they could have just let themselves in. She just thought it would be more exciting if they broke into the basement.
Fun fact, the company doing the realty is Beeman Realty, presumably a nod to the director's surname.
Or a new monster, the Bee-Man.
A Bee-Man.
Yeah, who will be revealed later.
Bee-Man Real, question mark, T.
Bee-Man Real. So they're not going to go back there that night, but just as well, because a shaft of moonlight shines through the basement window, reflects off a mirror, and shines onto the mummy. And the mummy's hand starts to move in the moonlight. The moonlight has resurrected this mummy.
That's something moonlight does.
So yeah, they go into the house legitimately with the key that they have. Gilbert still being a coward. The other two go down into the basement to explore. The sarcophagus is open, but it's empty. Gilbert is sat upstairs in the world's scariest chair. And then the doors around him start slamming. He hears a pounding, like footsteps. And then suddenly, the door handle turns and it's a mummy.
It's the mummy. It's the mummy from Under Wraps.
From Under Wraps. The kids all scream. It starts smashing through the house after them. It looks like it wants to kill them. They're all stacking objects up against doors, and the mummy is smashing through with its terrible mummy strength. Eventually, it has the kids cornered in a corridor.
Yes.
And it looks like it's about to kill them, but what's this? The mummy looks to its left and notices a modern toilet. And then it goes into the toilet and does a big long wee and goes ah.
You're probably thinking they're not going to show you. They're not going to show a mummy doing a stand-up urination in this kids' movie. And you're right, they're not. They're simply going to play you the sound,
the long audio, the stream of mummy urine hitting the,
and then the mummy going,
water.
oh. At the end.
Because of the satisfaction the mummy achieved from urinating.
Now, this immediately presents roughly an hour's worth of podcast discussion just on the mummy, who does not have a name yet, but just for convenience, they later decide to call it Harold, so we'll just start calling it Harold now. What is Harold's mummy situation? He looks real messed up, and I think is definitely a bit scarier than they probably wanted him to look for this film.
His face is quite messed up. He's enormous as well.
Harold is played by Bill Figurbucky, who is a physically enormous actor. Also plays the stepdad.
Yes, that's significant casting. perhaps?
Yeah, definitely, because Harold...
Symbolically
significant casting. And I think, actually, pretty smart. Also, the other thing you need to know to just kind of bring colour to the Harold performance, which is largely vocal, is that Bill is also the voice of Patrick from SpongeBob.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can absolutely... Well, I mean, here's a bit of Harold doing Harold's thing. You can absolutely hear it.
Let's cut him off. Where have you been?
So the face is like... Let's try and describe it for those who don't want to watch Under Wraps. It's like...
He's got bandages across his forehead, bandages across his chin, and a bandage line across the sort of middle, the bridge of his nose.
Yeah.
You can see his eyes, and then he's got a sort of horrible, like half-rotted mouth and giant teeth.
Yeah, it's like the lips have receded and rotted away,
leaving
only like the skin surrounding the lips, which is all kind of dried out and desiccated. It's I think it's too scary. I don't think
it's
I find
pretty full
Harold
on. They do cover it up a bit, like later on. I think they probably realised, that it was a bit hard to look at.
I mean, you could just Google image it. For some reason, they put them like Harold big on the thumbnail. Maybe this is why this one's not on Disney Plus.
Too scary.
We made
it. It does start with the knife going in that guy's eye. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Now. Okay, so the mummification process, as I understand it, involves, well, I mean, firstly, removing all the organs and sort of packing the body cavity with sawdust and kind of scented oils and things.
Sure.
But, I mean, also removing all fluids from the body.
Yeah.
So I think it's unlikely that a mummy would have a full bladder of urine.
It's, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the gag. It's a solid gag. Hey, what would a mummy need after waking up after 3,000 years in a sarcophagus? Man, I bet it'd be busting for a whiz.
Why didn't it just wet its sarcophagus?
Why not simply wet the sarcophagus? Why, when they tipped the sarcophagus open, was it not swimming with urine?
Swimming with urine and feces.
Why was Harold not floating in a sarcophagus full of his own urine?
Every sarcophagus should, after about 6 weeks, just burst open with urine. They won't show you that on the History Channel, the cowards.
To be honest, the only thing I could really think about was that you don't hear Harold washing his hands, and then he comes out, and in the next scene he's like grabbing everyone's hair and stuff, and it's like, oh no, you're.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't understand what a sink is. He's just woken up from. For him, presumably, it goes dying in 2000 BC, or whatever,
and then waking up in a house
1997.
in 1997 in the American suburbs. Yeah,
and maybe he didn't really understand what the toilet was. He just saw a sort of receptacle that he could urinate in,
and he was like, "Well, it's going to have to be this. I don't know if this is what this is for, but
it's going to have to be this or Gilbert." Anyway, so the mummy does a big long wee and goes, and then Gilbert goes, "That mummy had to go."
Yeah. We now kind of have like a complete assembled cast, and it has become clear that Harold, although he looks scary, actually there's nothing scary about him. He was only chasing them because he was simply desperate to urinate.
Desperate to urinate, and he was like, "Where do people in your time urinate?" Yeah, Marshall decides this mummy isn't a threat, and he's going to keep him. If they leave him here, they'll take him somewhere and experiment on him, probably the same place that they do all the fish boy research.
Yeah, but he doesn't want Harold to get dissected, not least because probably like a biology classroom dissection of a kidney, he would just explode with old urine.
Yeah, old urine goes every 90% urine at this point. The whole way through this sequence, I was just thinking the production values in this film are actually good. Like, the mummy chase was dramatic, but not too scary. The acting's decent. The score, particularly the score, is really good. Like, it's a step above every other DCOM we've seen so far.
I think it's down to the direction of Greg Beeman.
But yeah, the kids decide that they're going to leave Harold, the mummy, in the house overnight,
and come back the next day.
Come back the next day, and then so the next day they decide they need to tell someone or find out more about the mummy. Amy proposes maybe telling Ted because he's large physically. Not sure what that will bring to the table. But then they realise they have another contact, which is a man called Bruce who runs an occult bookstore.
Bruce, this is Amy and Gilbert.
Nice to meet you guys. Hey, did you see the new Warhead movie?
It was great.
Tell me about it. Much more imaginative kill factor. Did you see him field dress that highway patrolman with a spatula? Hey, I don't care what Siskel and Ebert say. That was art. So you guys just browsing today, or are you looking for something special?
Actually, we just need some information.
Information? I got plenty of.
Do you know anything about mummies?
Yeah, so they go to they go to his shop and say, "Do you have anything on mummies?" And he's like, "Do I?" He even does a theatrical blowing dust off of the book, which is a trope that I always appreciate when I see
good.
it. So good.
Yeah, he gives them the mummy lore. So he's reading from this book, and apparently every year during the Festival of the Dead, the spirit of the mummy may be freed by the purity of the full moon.
Yeah.
But if he does not return to his tomb by midnight on that most evil of nights, he will dissolve into a pillar of dust, and his soul will be lost forever.
Weirdly, the ancient Egyptian Festival of the Dead aligns perfectly with Halloween.
Yeah, I don't think they had Halloween in ancient Egypt.
I don't think so.
But this sets up the driving plot of the movie, is that they need to get Harold back into his coffin by midnight on Halloween, or his soul will be lost forever. And then, to underline this, there's a sort of like screaming and a flashing lights and a wolf howl.
Yeah.
Which it turns out is a sort of pyrotechnic display that Bruce can turn on and off with a switch, which is actually a good gag.
Yeah.
Like, it was well executed and funny.
Yeah.
It was well done, Mr. Beeman.
Beeman, you're nailing this. Keep going, Beeman. You're doing
Keep
it.
going, push through.
Yeah.
It got a little wobbly with the urine stuff. But we're back on track.
Yeah, and I'm still a little hung up on Gilbert's home life, but broad strokes, we're bringing it home.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
So they are cycling home, and that is when they run into the greatest character in DCOM history, Leonard.
Oh my God, Leonard.
So how old would you say Leonard is? He's a small child.
Ageless.
Maybe...
I believe Leonard has always been. I believe Leonard is a capricious sprite. Being one of the other kin.
Okay, I would say Leonard is about 5 years old.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's about right. Yeah. 4 or 5, maybe 6.
But Leonard is the eyes and the ears of the neighborhood. Leonard sees everything. Leonard knows everything. Leonard shouts every single one of his lines and stamps off screen.
The kid delivering Leonard's lines is doing such a, I guess, unintentionally spectacular job. It is one of the most memorable cinematic performances. Also, the thing about Leonard is, I did a bit of a double take when I watched this, even though I'd watched Under Wraps before I watched it to record the podcast, because the movie introduces Leonard as if we've already met him. They're
like, oh, here comes Leonard.
And needless to say, here's Leonard. And then this bleeding, filthy 5-year-old whose parents are nowhere in sight. It's just kind of on screen. He's holding a blanket, and when pressed on it, he says, "It's not a blanket, it's a rag. I carry it around."
Can we have a clip, please? Can we please have a clip?
Yeah, we need to have a clip. You know what? Here's just some of Leonard's dialogue.
Want to see me pick my scab? Get out of my way, Leonard. And take your blanket with you. This isn't a blanket, it's a rag. I carry it around in case I have to wipe up something. And it's the big yellow truck.
What yellow truck?
The one they loaded all Mr. Kubat's stuff into.
So good.
There's a GQ interview with Christian Bale, where he says that kids are the best actors because they are liberated from the pressure of expectation and financial concerns.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
And
yes.
That's just Leonard. Leonard doesn't care about the box office of this movie. He doesn't care about the artistic interpretation of his performance. Leonard yells everything he has to say and then stamps off screen. And it's so good.
I wonder if Leonard ad-libbed the line, "This isn't a blanket, it's a rag. I carry it round in case I have to wipe off something." Because you cannot imagine an adult writing that down. And, why does Leonard have a blanket? I guess because he's young, it's like a comfort blanket. Why does Leonard have a rag? Why is Leonard bleeding? Why is Leonard so filthy? And why is Leonard the eyes and ears of the neighborhood? What's going on?
If you want to know what's going on in the neighborhood, you've got to ask Leonard.
I believe Leonard is a sort of Pennywise figure, a kind of a very, very, very old being that
the avatar of a sort of unknowable
intelligence. Exactly, and everyone who lives in the town that Under Wraps is set in, on some level, consciously or otherwise, knows and has met Leonard.
But Leonard also delivers the vital information that a big yellow van took all of Mr. Kubat's stuff. That's per Leonard, all right? We got that info from the Leonard hotline.
Yeah, because Leonard, I believe Leonard can see through everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
So if something happens in the town,
three-eyed raven Leonard sees all, knows all. But yeah, all that Leonard has to say is that a big yellow van took all of Mr. Kubat's stuff.
Yeah.
So they race over to the house. Sorry, then Leonard stamps off amazingly, leaving the audience wanting more Leonard. Don't worry, there's more Leonard.
It's a perfect shot. It's like side on to Leonard. Leonard is stood on the sidewalk. The camera's in the middle of the road, facing Leonard, and Leonard just stomps off perfectly out of frame. It's like he's walking stomping off stage, and you have the perfect view in the theatre.
God, can you imagine a buddy comedy starring Johnny Tsunami and Leonard?
Oh my God.
They've got to solve like a crime or something.
Do you know sometimes you're watching a film and there's just almost like a crossroads and you're like, can the film stop doing what it's doing and instead do what I want? And what I want is, like, imagine if when Leonard stomped off and the kids went in the house, the next shot was just Leonard crossing the street. And from that point, we just follow Leonard.
It's a film about Leonard, and occasionally in the background you'll see some like mummy antics
out
going
of
on.
focus, you can see a mummy running around and falling over.
So the main focus is Leonard like busting a smuggling ring or something.
I don't know what Leonard would do.
It'd be like Baby's Day Out or something, but he would just sort of wander into situations and diffuse them without really knowing what was going on.
What would Leonard do?
He would like stumble into a warehouse shootout between gangsters and sort of bump into one of them, and then that causes him to fire his gun and shoot the main bad guy, and then a big gunfight goes off and Leonard walks out eating chocolate.
That's good. I was thinking Leonard does something like climb a tree and find a bird's nest and eats all the eggs, and the film is just him eating all the eggs. And then when the bird comes back and finds all the eggs, Leonard sings to it in its own language.
Leonard climbs onto the bird and flies away.
Travels the hidden paths to his
there to drink of fairy wine.
God, I love Leonard.
Luke, have you noticed that Harold the mummy seems quite stressed? by his
stressed,
predicament, doesn't he?
So tense. There must be something that he can do.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But in the olden times of Egypt, when he lived, Harold wouldn't have had access to things like the great products available from Cornbread Hemp, a CBD company based in Kentucky.
Pity Harold, because Cornbread Hemp's products are flour only, full spectrum, which means there are no seeds or stems in it. Harold wouldn't like that.
Yep, and they're USDA certified organic, and most of their products are vegan friendly, including the CBD oils and gummies. Imagine showing a CBD gummy to a mummy from Egypt. Their brain would explode.
They would urinate in surprise.
Yeah, at great length in a side room. Yeah.
Cornbread Hemp is a family-owned company and crowd-funded as well. All products are grown and made in Kentucky, and they're certified by independent labs with reports published on their website, so you can check that out at their website, which is cornbreadhemp.com. And hey, while you're there, why not pick up some cool products from Cornbread Hemp? And guess what, Andy? There's a code you can use for 25% off your order.
What is that code?
That code is Mom Can't Cook, which you can easily remember because it's the name of this podcast.
That gets you 25% off your order, and that does only ship to the US. So if you're one of our US listeners, then do take advantage of this great offer, and you can be more relaxed and at ease than a mummy who's woken up in the modern era, which is probably the most stressed that it's possible.
It's a low bar,
yeah.
But cornbreadhemp.com is going to get you way past it.
It's going to get you there. So be less stressed than Harold with Cornbread Hemp. So they run. Leonard leaves, leaving the audience bereft, and we follow the less good children to the house, where it turns out that the movers have taken all of Mr. Kubat's stuff. The sarcophagus is gone, but also the mummy is gone. The mummy's not there.
Oh no.
And that sets us up for a series of what I like to call mummy capers. So let's detail some of the mummy capers that Harold gets up to.
I love these bits of under wraps. They do massively undercut any tension about keeping Harold out of sight, because Harold freely wanders around in public view for most of the day.
Yeah.
And at no point does anyone dissect him.
Well, it's close to Halloween, so I suppose people think, oh, he's just in a good costume.
I
for most of it.
suppose. So it starts. The first caper is the drive-through. Is that right?
Yeah, he's at the Dairy Freeze, which is a fast food drive-through. Yeah. He walks up to the drive-through and sort of triggers the voice box.
Goes, SpongeBob.
He makes SpongeBob sounds into it, which apparently the Dairy Freeze employee can understand.
I think this is a gag about how those drive-through machines are really unclear.
I see.
I think
it's clever. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I guess. I mean, it's an odd. It's you're throwing away a lot of mummy lore to make that gag. You're you're burning some narrative bridges about whether it's okay for Harold, the secret mummy, to go to a drive-through and order a milkshake and pick up the milkshake. But whatever.
Yeah. So he he acquires a drink. He drinks it, thus refilling his bladder. Will that come in? Later. Will he have to urinate again? The audience is on the edge of their seats. So yeah, he's done that, and then he's encountering people in the street. They're all apparently fine with the mummy walking around. He sees a man in bandages being wheeled into a hospital, and I guess thinks it's another mummy.
Thinks it's a well, I guess where he's from, they wouldn't have had full body casts.
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, Harold goes into the hospital, gets one of his bandages stuck in the automatic closing doors at the entrance to the hospital.
So he starts sort of unraveling as he walks through the hospital. He goes up to a desk and a woman gives him a clipboard. He manages to clamp his own fingers in a bulldog clip and starts going, oh!
and then a medical professional runs up, takes one look at him, and to be fair, echoes the audience's sentiments by going, "Oh my God, a victim of a terrible fire! A burns victim is here." And then another doctor shows up and goes, "Oh my God, it looks like he's trying to treat himself." And they get Harold onto a gurney and start defibrillating him because they can't find a pulse.
And they put it on the max setting and set him on fire.
The max setting of the defibrillator shouldn't set anyone on
The setting that sets people on fire. So they set the defibrillator to the setting that sets you on fire.
Yeah, it's like a faker setting. If they think you're faking it, they're like, "Oh, I'll see it, maybe being
a little
on fire
or to settle your hash."
This is one of those things where, like, normally when I'm laughing really hard on this podcast, I'm laughing kind of at the film. But I think I am laughing with the film here because I really do like this mummy caper quite a lot.
My favourite thing about the whole mummy caper is that the kids spot him fleeing from the hospital. They hide him. And then the mummy gives them an extremely grunt and mime-heavy rendition of what happened in the last 20 minutes, and it goes on for so long.
And then Marshall's like, "I understood every single word."
It's just him going, it goes on for about a minute longer than you would think.
Marshall's just nodding and like, "Yeah, I get it." There's a recurring thing of like, Marshall seems to be able to literally understand what Harold the mummy is saying. It's never really explained or interrogated. I don't know if it's just supposed to be a gag or just supposed to be symbolic of the fact that Marshall just kind of gets Harold on a deep level. I don't know. But anyway, they understand everything. What do they do with Harold then? I can't remember what happens next.
So they take him back to Marshall's house. They hide him in his room. Luckily, his room is full of like mannequins of horror monsters.
Yeah.
So when his mum comes up to check on them, she just thinks that Harold is a sort of new piece he's acquired for his collection.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he's 10 and has no money of his own.
I mean,
if you were to buy a life-size 6'6" mummy mannequin from like a collectibles website, you're looking at thousands of dollars.
I'm
easily.
a man in my 30s, and if I bought that for my home, my mum would notice and want to know everything about why it was there.
Yeah, but she's like, "Oh, this one is good." But the other thing about Harold is that he stinks.
Yeah,
because he is a 1,000-year-old corpse.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, covered in urine. So
yeah, he's a urine-soaked corpse.
Yeah,
so they cover him in cologne. Just before we switch scenes here, the mummy hears the song "All by Myself" and starts to get emotional. So we think maybe there's a special someone in this mummy's life.
At this point, it becomes clear that the mummy yearns not simply to understand what's going on around it and to get back in its sarcophagus, but for the physical touch of another mummy.
Of another mummy. But we can't dwell on that because we then discover the twist of this film. We cut to some gangsters in a warehouse, and they're being led by Mr. Kubat. He's alive, it turns out. He faked his death to avoid paying taxes.
Yes, right. So the timeline for Mr. Kubat. This is a Wyndham from Xenon scale
Level plan.
Okay. So from the timeline from his point of view is he is an antiques dealer. Mm-hmm. He hasn't paid any taxes.
Yeah.
The IRS catches on and says,
and they say, "Can you pay your taxes,
please?
please?
Pay your taxes?" And at this point, he's faced with two choices: one, pay his taxes, or two, fake his own death. Have all of his possessions, I guess, removed in a van, and then start a new life with the same name as before.
Selling mummies out of a ice cream warehouse.
Selling the mummies that you had left over when you faked your death.
Selling your spare mummies.
Selling all my spare mummies. So he had sort of, I guess, somehow shadily acquired. Was it stolen from the museum or... No, we don't really know where Harold comes from, do we?
No. He said he worked in a museum, so maybe he stole it.
It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the important thing is, for some reason, there was no reason to have this he's dead, oh no, he's alive thing at all. He could have just been alive the whole time. I think that would have been fine. But in any case, he's behind it all, and he has the sarcophagus, and he's trying to sell the sarcophagus.
But the problem is the mummy isn't in it, so he needs to find the mummy so he can sell it. But that's the sarcophagus that Harold needs to get back to. So this is a problem.
Yes.
Okay, so Harold and Marshall, they're staying together in Marshall's room. Marshall he's explaining the Ted situation to Harold. Harold can only say arg, so it's not that deep a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, on the Harold side, Marshall is like, "Have you ever been in love, Harold?" I guess love doesn't mean much these days, even though I'm 10.
Yeah, Marshall's kind of giving a sardonic and burned out testament to why does no one stay together anymore? I feel like he's speaking for the Walt Disney Corporation when he says, whatever happened to the nuclear family? Whatever happened to good old mum and dad and to the 2.5 kids?
He's speaking for the divorced screenwriter of Under Wraps. But, Harold, he can't say much, but he can act through his actions. So he destroys a pot plant and then gives it to Marshall. That's a sort of peace offering.
Maybe... The writers of Under Wraps think that in ancient Egypt that was a very polite and kind thing to do.
Yeah, well, this was before Wikipedia. You couldn't just look stuff up.
No, there was simply no way to know.
You had to imagine it. Marshall goes to sleep, but Harold can't sleep, so we get a few more mummy antics. He discovers a kush launcher, fires the kush out of the window, and a dog gets it, so he sort of chases the dog around.
Yep.
He gets on a skateboard.
Kick flips it old school.
Does a bit of skateboarding because he's a rockin' mummy.
We get some absolutely brilliant, just from the legs down shots of Harold skateboarding that are very clearly different legs.
But as he's sort of skateboarding unsteadily into the road, he sees a bus go past with the sort of the Eye of Horus symbol on it, which was on his sarcophagus, and he chases after the bus, which is going to the museum. The marshal wakes up. He gets the other kids. They go out on their bikes looking for it. Gilbert's wearing some embarrassing pajamas. But they're at the museum. Despite it being, I would estimate 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, about that.
They've just walked into the museum.
Yeah, we smash cut to them walking into the ancient... I mean, no wonder Mr. Kubat was able to get away with so many of these treasures, because there really is no security.
You just walk in.
I mean, not only have the kids just walked in, an undead mummy has
with very poor motor control.
He has roamed in.
Yeah. But so they're walking around. There aren't any guards. Harold is there, and he's looking at all the Egypt stuff. He's happy, and then he sees another sarcophagus, and he's sort of kneeling next to it. And the kids read the informational plaque, and it's a queen and her high priest. So that's who this female mummy, who's like a sort of all sexy and stuff.
Yeah,
they
just break the lid open, don't they? We get a look.
They just have a look.
Yeah, it's a mummy with this mummy has eyeshadow and boobs. So that is that.
A real Ms. Pac-Man situation.
Yeah, it really is.
It turns out that Harold was a high priest somehow, despite being basically the Patrick Star of mummies. He was somehow a high priest.
So theirs was a sort of forbidden love, I assume, back in the ancient times.
Yeah.
And Harold, he's just a mummy who's in love.
He's just a real horny mummy, folks.
He's just a horny mummy who misses his girlfriend. And it's up to these plucky kids to get Harold back in that sarcophagus.
Well, it's at this point that the museum's security system triggers. And the
At
security
this
system,
point. Yeah.
And the security system is if the cops drive past and notice the doors open.
Somebody watching the CCTV is watching this all play out, and they're like, this far, no further.
Well, no, I don't even think that's what happens. I think the security system of this museum is if the police drive past and the door is open. Because that's what happens. The cop goes, hang on, they left the door of the museum open. I'm going in. Harold has read the markings and he realises too that he needs to be back in the sarcophagus before tomorrow night.
Yeah.
He's all sad. But then the cops are there and the kids get away in the vents. So they don't get got. They're fine. So they need to figure out how to get to the sarcophagus. They have no leads. They don't know where the sarcophagus is.
There's nowhere to turn.
There's nowhere to turn.
Also, Kubat has covered his tracks so well, you would need 1,000 eyes to know where he was.
They're at the end of their rope. This is the end of the second act. The lowest point for our heroes. If only there was someone to whom they could turn. Oh shit, it's Leonard!
That's a mummy! Cool! Go home. He must belong in that big mummy coffin.
That's
Leonard's
right.
back!
Leonard just kicks open a garden gate.
Kicks open the door, goes, that's a mummy!
It's like, hey,
cool! He must belong in the big mummy coffin that went in the yellow truck. It was very yellow.
Hi, I'm about 5 miles from where we last met each other. I travel the hidden ways. I opened a secret door. and now I, Leonard, am here. I've always been here, but I'm also in your reality. I'm here.
I am everywhere all at once. I opened a door in a tree trunk and walked into it. And I came out here.
So Leonard's like, yeah, I know. Here's where it is.
Well, he says it went in the yellow truck. It was very yellow. And they said, did it have any writing on it? And Leonard says, yes, it did. And they said, what does it say, Leonard? He says,
I don't know. I can't read.
Spectacular.
as a parting word, as he leaves, Leonard gives them everything they need to solve the case.
Yep.
He says, if you find the man in the truck, don't ask him for any ice cream because he won't give it to you. And that's the clue they need.
Yep.
The old Erin's ice cream factory trucks were yellow.
Okay, so they know they need to go to the old ice cream factory, which is affordable to film in.
Yes,
but
of course.
They need disguises.
Yeah. We've already established they don't.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
one really cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, they decide to dress up Harold, who is a mummy, as a 70s pimp from a blaxploitation film, because that will be less conspicuous somehow.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a huge hat and flares and sort of mirrored platform shoes. I think he's more eye-catching in this outfit than he was as a mummy, to be honest.
Well, he is eye-catching. He catches the eye of a woman walking down the street who's like, hey, look at who's this handsome fellow. Yeah. And then she sees his undead face and screams and runs in terror.
And then they all cycle off on their bikes, and they've given Harold a tiny child's bike for some reason, and he crashes into a tree. Again, probably quite eye-catching.
Okay, so they approach the factory, but oh no, it has a high wall that they need to... how are they going to break in? It seems like there's no way. Oh wait, Harold can use his immense mummy strength to hurl Marshall a fatal height into the air.
So Marshall is killed.
I watched Marshall land because he falls from a great height. I watched Marshall land on the other side of the wall several times, trying to figure out if it was an adult stuntman or like a mannequin filled with jelly or something. It looks like something that's designed to burst open, in an explosion of gore.
Yeah, like a ballistics dummy.
Yeah, that's right. Because really,
warrior.
When Marshall hits the deck, you really feel it. You're like, okay, he's dead for sure. But Marshall springs up, he's okay. And then he and Harold infiltrate the factory.
We don't need to go too much into detail about what happens here, but all they basically discover is Marshall discovers that Kubat's still alive.
Yeah.
They discover that this is where the sarcophagus is. Harold sees the sarcophagus. Marshall's like, no, you can't get in now, they'll see us. Harold leaves a bit of his wrapping accidentally, and then one of their one of the henchmen sees them leaving on their bikes.
Yeah, now
And,
Harold now is out of his disguise for some reason. So
Yeah, I don't know what the point of the disguise was.
And goes to his boss and says, hey, you won't believe what I just saw. So yeah, good job with the disguises, kids.
Yeah. So basically they reveal to Kubart that they have the mummy. But they know where the sarcophagus is. They need a car to be able to haul it away. Obviously, as children, they don't have a car. But their adult friend, Bruce, has a car. He's running the haunted house at the town Halloween party.
Yep.
So they need to go there to find Bruce. They need Halloween costumes to be able to get in. So Marshall's got a skull mask. Amy has some Princess Leia hair buns. And Gilbert has come dressed as Dennis Rodman, which is a bold choice for a gingery 10-year-old.
It kind of equates to like some sunglasses and a feather boa, I guess.
Feather boa.
Oh,
I thought he was he was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
The dance is going on. Marshall's mum and Ted are there. They're having a nice time. Marshall is like, good, it doesn't bother me. The goons show up. Then they're looking for a mummy. They unmask every mummy.
It turns out this party's full of dozens of mummies.
Yeah, dozens and dozens of mummies.
Yeah.
But that's basically what they're doing. They're just trying to find Harold.
This party is weird. It's like the whole town is there. It seems like a kid's Halloween party because it seems to be. It's like I don't know where it's taking place in the village.
It feels
hall.
like the school gym or something.
Yes, that's the aesthetic vibe. It looks like a school disco, but all the grown-ups are there, and they're all swapping partners.
Some people are treating it like a school disco. Some people are treating it like a swingers key party.
Like some kind of secret Soho members society.
There's a very sexually aggressive Cleopatra.
Well, I mean, Harold sees this Cleopatra over at the punch table and is like, I'm so
such a horny mummy.
SpongeBob. And so, kind of totters over. And, she sees him, thinks that Harold is her husband, says, what were you doing? Why were you away so long? Or something like that. Anyway, they then start dancing. She really fancies Harold. Harold really fancies her.
I don't think she thinks he's her husband.
But she seems to know him.
Well, I think they've just met and they've been getting on well, and he's gone away and then come back, and she's like, now to continue developing relationship.
Right, yes, okay. So she's been flirting with a mummy at the party.
A mummy.
That mummy is now absent.
It's established that there's 6 or 7 mummies at this party.
Yeah, it's important that you know how many mummies there are at this party. It's important for the sort of bedroom farce. Someone else who's dressed as a mummy is the school principal, which Gilbert finds out to his disadvantage when he just, punches him really hard in the stomach.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what he was going to do to Harold.
This is the principal, Mr. Hammer.
Yeah, Mr. Hammer. He punches him really hard in the stomach and is like, oh no, you're not Harold. Why were you going to punch Harold hard in the stomach? Don't punch Harold.
You can punch mummies.
Don't stop punching Harold.
They're full of fragrant sawdust.
I feel like Gilbert's just punching Harold because he knows Harold can't tell anyone. And he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's true. He's going to work out some stuff on Harold. But so the Cleopatra is getting hot and heavy with Harold, and then Mr. Hammer's wife comes over and says, "What are you doing with my husband?"
Yeah,
because this must be him. And then Mr. Hammer comes over and goes, "I'm not him." And then the Cleopatra is like, well, who is this mysterious mummy? I must know. Let's unmask him, and reveals Harold's horrible monster face.
Yeah,
and then everyone screams and flees.
And then everyone's screaming and running. But it's okay because while Harold is having a mummy caper, a sexy mummy caper with
another mummy caper
with a sexy Cleopatra, meanwhile the kids have found Bruce, who is, in his words, making a killing, selling $2 entry to kids. So there are kids at this party.
Yeah, maybe Bruce isn't as independently wealthy as I thought.
He doesn't want to be bothered by the kids because he's charging $2 for them to run through his scary horror house, which is
horror maze. Yeah.
Horror maze, got some dangling skeletons and such.
But yeah, so the goons are unmasking all the mummies, and once Harold has been unmasked, they realise that he's the true mummy. So they chase him. Everyone runs through the horror maze.
Yeah.
They all pile into Bruce's car, but Harold heroically holds the doors closed to stop the goons getting out. Bruce cowardly drives away with all the kids in the car, leaving Harold behind. So the kids have escaped, but Harold has been captured.
Luckily, they know exactly where they'll be taking Harold. Back to the extremely affordable abandoned factory.
Luckily, Bruce has a car trunk full of weird horror props.
Yeah. This is like Honestly, this is like a gag from The Simpsons, because they open the boot, which is full of these horror props, masks, costumes, that kind of thing. The kids look at each other and go, well, now this gives me an idea for how we could get into the factory. Smash cut to one of the goons walking around on patrol, and the kids spring out of cover and beat him senseless with bits of horror paraphernalia.
They just beat him with prosthetic legs until he loses consciousness.
It would have been a lot better if they'd opened the trunk and there'd been some crowbars and like a jack there. Because all they're going to use this stuff for is like savagely beating a man.
So they knock him to the floor, and then Bruce screams body slam and then does what is clearly a splash. It's not a body slam.
Come on,
but the man
Bruce.
loses consciousness from having Bruce land on his midsection.
Yeah.
And they tie him up with some fake intestines. So that's all of the horror props. They've used all of it.
Yeah, that's
on
all
this one
done.
guy.
There's no more use for them now.
And they put an eye in his mouth as a gag.
As a warning.
Yes.
I said to appease Leonard.
Yeah. So now they have no plan or equipment.
Yeah.
And Bruce says, I've got to start hanging out with people my own age.
Which is true.
What
they have done is split the party. So we've got Marshall, and Marshall is kind of by himself going, like, making a beeline for Harold. Then we've got Bruce and Amy, who are also there. I don't really know what their stated aim is exactly.
Well, yeah, they need to sort of create a distraction. Amy is like, maybe a little fire will help things. So she's off to sort of start a fire somewhere.
Yes.
But Marshall finds Harold. He's chained up.
Yeah. Oh, crucially, Gilbert has decided that he's too big of a coward and doesn't want to come and help. He is in the car outside.
Yeah. So yeah, Bruce and Amy are trying to sort of trigger the fire alarm because they think it'll be a distraction. So Bruce is sort of hanging from a pipe, like with a match underneath the sprinkler system. But he sort of ends up breaking the pipe and swinging across the warehouse, smashing into a load of ice cream, knocking everything over.
It looks like it would kill you instantly, but it doesn't.
But he isn't killed, but he is immediately captured. Meanwhile, Marshall is freeing Harold. They start to push the sarcophagus out, but Kubat steps out from the shadows.
Uh-oh.
And he's in awe of the fact that Marshall has somehow managed to resurrect the mummy. He says, how did you do it? Oh, sure, I read the myths about full moons and festivals of the dead. Well, yeah, that was it. That was how he did it.
That was how he did it.
It was exactly what you said.
Sure,
you should have just done that.
Sure, I read about how a mummy comes to life if it sees the full moon. Of course, I didn't try putting the full moon on the mummy, which is literally all it takes.
The one step.
The mummy wasn't even in direct moonlight. It bounced off a mirror. So, like...
How did you do it? I mean, the one step is to shine the full moon onto the mummy, but you can't have done that. No, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I see. Well, more for me. At this point, it seems that all is lost because Kubat has them all at his mercy, but then
at gunpoint.
Gunpoint, but then in an extremely pointless heroic sacrifice.
Who should come smashing through the wall but Dennis Rodman? Wait, is that Dennis Rodman? No, it's Gilbert.
It's little
Oh
Gilbert.
my God.
So
I was fooled for a second.
Gilbert drives his car through the wall, not knowing what's on the other side. He could so easily have killed himself or his friends.
All the children.
All the children.
Gilbert.
So he just drives through this big wall, smashes everything into rubble. Does he run anyone over? Does he sort of incapacitate any of the other goons or something? Or is there literally no point to him doing this?
Well, no, he doesn't, but then the ceiling does collapse and drop pipes on everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Again, it looks pretty fatal.
Yeah.
However...
And then Kubat is still up and he has the gun, but Harold grabs him and using his mummy strength, he throws him across the room.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. It's the second time we've seen Harold use his mummy strength to throw someone, and it never gets old. I like it when Harold actually deploys his immense supernatural strength.
And Amy was worried that Marshall was going to die, and it sort of made her realise how much she truly cares for Marshall.
I guess.
But there's no time to dwell on emotions now. They need to get this sarcophagus back to the museum. It's almost midnight, so they load it into an ice cream truck. They drive to the museum. They put Harold's sarcophagus next to the high priestess's, the busty lady mummy and Harold's necklaces, absorb the moonlight, and she too comes to life.
Yeah, and goes, oh no, this weirdo. I thought I'd shaken him. 3,000 years ago.
So he starts worshipping her. She touches his face.
Yeah.
They put Harold in his own sarcophagus.
Yeah.
They hold hands. Harold takes a look at her and then delivers the immortal line.
Love conquers all.
And then, they all say their goodbyes to Harold. He pulls off his necklace and gives it to Marshall. I thought that necklace was important, but I guess not.
No, I guess not anymore.
Yeah, they close the sarcophagus, and Harold is gone. He's back in his eternal slumber.
Yep, but now reunited with his loved one. So yeah, it's nice. The kids have done a good thing. And it all happened on Halloween for some reason.
Yeah. The ancient Egyptian festival of Halloween.
There's a little coda to the film, which is basically Marshall learning to be cool about a new stepdad.
The mum sort of comes up and she's like, "How are you doing, Marshall? Are you all right?" He's packing away all his horror stuff. He says he's outgrown it. And he asks
and the mum is like, "Thank Christ."
As she leaves, he's like, this Ted, do you love him? This Ted guy? And the mum's like, "Yeah, I do." And Marshall's like, "You should marry him.
Yeah.
Because people in love should be together, and one day you and Ted could be mummies and separated, and it would be bad."
And I speak for the Walt Disney Corporation when I say, if you're in love, you should be married.
You should be married under the watchful eye of Jesus Christ.
You should be married, and ideally getting me a little brother or sister, because that is the function of a union.
So that's the end of Under Wraps. I don't know if you had the same thought that I did when this film finished, but I have a theory about what was actually going on.
No, I did not have any high-minded theories about this film at all.
Okay, I think it makes the film make a lot more sense if you imagine Marshall's mum and Ted at their wits' end for how to get Marshall to accept Ted as his new stepfather.
Yes.
Hatched a plot to disguise Ted as a mummy.
Oh.
Because Marshall loves horror stuff so much.
Yes.
And then get him to go on a kind of madcap adventure with him to teach him that people should be together. I mean, that it explains everything that happens in the movie. It gets rid of the supernatural element entirely. It explains why Harold and the mummy are played by the same actor.
Yeah, and how the mum is like not fazed by there clearly being an enormous stinking mummy
that wasn't there before.
Yeah, because she's in on it.
She's
knows. Playing along.
She turns around and I mean
she's winking at she's like,
winking at it's basically like, "Oh, where did this mummy come from?" Like they're having a little joke between themselves. I think it explains
Ted.
Yeah. This explains everything that happens in this movie, and
That's
I think
good.
I don't think it's even subtext. I think it's definitely what's going on.
The only question mark it's raising in my mind is the bit where Harold throws Marshall 20 feet in the air into
a series of pulleys and wires that him and his mum set up, and also the lady mummy in the museum is the mum in bandages as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay, I like it. But I am just imagining now him just hoying Marshall over this high wall. And that's Under Wraps. There are a lot of mummy capering. Pretty freaking solid, I think.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
It had a lot of fun mummy capers.
Yep.
The plot wasn't too complicated, apart from the fact that guy faked his death.
Yeah,
which
that was
sort of was unnecessary. But we're not talking like Xenon levels.
No.
Needlessly complicated plots. The cinematography, the direction, the score, particularly, I wanted to call out. Like musically, this movie is really, really good. Yeah, it's just a really good film. Again, up there with Johnny Tsunami for me.
Absolutely, yeah, me too.
I don't think it would happen today that you would get the Disney Corporation deciding to make a series of like made-for-TV kind of tentpole films for their Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And they go, the first one that we're going to do, the flagship that launches this brand, is going to be about a horny mummy who urinates regularly. And also, I don't know, some other stuff happens.
You know what? Maybe we're actually getting onto, unwittingly, identifying a reason why we find DCOMs so compelling. Because the plot of all of these DCOMs, apart from the very, very few that are sequels and franchises, are so wildly different. I feel like it harks back to a time when you would throw a lot of stuff at the wall. Like if you're, if you're Disney, you're like, hey, let's have a mummy. What if a boy turned into a leprechaun? What if a boy was a fish? What if there was a motocross
What if a girl did motocross?
Yeah, and other such far-fetched
notions.
Yeah, and
I think that's it. The variety is so. Even if like the DCOM that you're watching now isn't very good, there'll be another one next week, and maybe that one will be good. So you just you keep coming back.
And you sit down to watch a DCOM, and you're like, "What's the premise of this one?" I have absolutely no idea. But then you are told, like, "Oh yeah, that sounds about right."
Yeah. Yeah, I'll watch that. Has it got Leonard in?
We got a little bit of Any Other Business. Thank you to Stuart Dreghorn. Well, thank you to everyone, as usual. We've received so many emails and so many messages.
Lots of lovely emails. Thank you very much.
And thanks again for everyone who's offered up a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you feel like you can do that and want to. But Stuart Dreghorn says, "Hello, Luke and Andy. The algorithm recommended something I thought you might find interesting. Disney produced a series of shorts about the future of Johnny Tsunami." So this is a series of short videos. They are on a YouTube channel called Oh My Disney. Basically, they've made a series of pretty wacky skits called Johnny Tsunami on the Job.
What?
You know, I always used to rag on my dad for working all the time. Like, what could be so interesting that he'd have to spend 8 hours a day working on it, you know? And with my grandpa, like, always down to ride waves, I didn't get it. Things change, bro. But I can surf, I can snowboard, I can mountain board. So learning how to code was honestly kind of a piece of cake.
Tsunami. Oh. You gonna have that mock-up ready for 3 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yeah, they're all like that.
Wow, that's a lot more depressing than I thought it would be.
Do you know how the sitcom The Office is funny?
Yes.
Well, what if it looked like that?
Go on. I'm loving it already.
Also funny. It looks like a funny thing.
Is it funny though?
Anyway, it's 3 p.m. and the golf links are calling.
Johnny Capohala's in it.
Is it funny? You be the judge. Humor subjective, isn't it? Taps watch. Golf links.
Now watch this drive.
I think if you're going to make it canon that Johnny Capohala gets a crappy office job that he hates, it should be make it a full DCOM.
Yeah.
Have the courage.
And have his sort of aloha spirit influence the office.
Exactly.
And lead to like great profits for the paper company or whatever.
Chill profits. Profits that go Richter at Backdoor. What are we doing next?
Our next one, well, we've already announced it. It's the live show that we're doing for Halloween, which is Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
That's right.
The Hanson kids are grounded and must do something to get their mother out of the house in order to be free. They fix her up with a mysterious man, only to realise that he might be a vampire. That's going to be a live episode, but it'll still be going up here on the old podcast feed. So yeah, keep an ear open for Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. It's coming out in November, but it's still spooky. Halloween goes all the way to December. That's how it works. That's how it works. Let's end with a quote from Harold.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's something in there for all of us to learn from. Thanks for listening, folks. See you next time.